Okay, now we are going to speak and meet Marcel Borger, I think. Marcel Borger var med på ett litet inlägg på första passet vi hade ju under den här Kalmar läns biogasresa, så fick olika sponsorer till den här konferensen medverka. Och Marcel stod där vid en stor Dodge VRM nere i Holland och berättade att han var grundare. Så att är det inte Marcels tur, eller har jag missat i programmet? Ja. Vi har ju bett Marcel att prata lite grann om hur han ser på möjligheten att sälja biogas i Kalmar, eller i Sverige ska vi säga. Heartily welcome, Marcel. I told them.
Thanks, Stefan.
I thank you. I told them that we have seen you already once in this short video where you're standing with the Dodge. And now,
very good.
And now we are going to hear about what you see of the potential and the future of selling biogas in Sweden. Why does a Dutch company wants to come to Sweden?
Now that's I have a little bit of a presentation about OrangeGas in general, and of course Sweden. But to start with is we, as OrangeGas, we were founded with 12.5 years ago, and after 4 years, we always said, okay, it would be great if we could start in Sweden, because what I also said more often is that. We see like the Sweden is like the mecca of driving on biogas, because you almost invented it in the country, and it's also the physical, mostly the real stuff, like we say it, is the real biogas. So this was the main reason for looking at Sweden, and then. After traveling with Mats Ekelund for almost 2.5 years through Sweden, I got more and more enthusiastic about the potential of biogas, especially if you look at light vehicles, transport, but also the private cars. And that's why, and what I saw is that there was a lot of enthusiastic people about the driving on biogas, but I saw also a lot of potential to do more sales and marketing. Because in the 2 years that I drove through Sweden, I almost never saw an advertisement, an event, or let's say commercial event, or TV commercials, or sponsoring for sport clubs, etc. For biogas companies. So I said, okay, how can we add, as OrangeGas, added value to the Swedish market? And I think. And that's by putting our brand in the market and pushing driving on biogas. So it's a combination about the potential, the let's say the sourcing of the biogas, the potential of the market, and where we as OrangeGas can add value. I think that's are the three main reasons why it's very interesting. And the last reason is that we also. Like to cooperate on production of biogas. So this is, in a small thing, the reasons why we are very glad to be active in Sweden.
Wonderful. And now you want to present something more about OrangeGas?
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe it's good that we show something about OrangeGas in general, so people also know where we come from, what we did. And that we are very confident in the biogas, but we have also our Orange Dream, where we look at several clean fuels for a solution of clean mobility. So I will show you just one moment. Can you see it?
Unfortunately, now it comes. Great, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. What you see here, it is from my iPad, so sorry, and it's PDF, but I try to get you through it. The first page is is what you see is our OrangeGas Orange Dream station in the harbor of Amsterdam. This is a station where we sell a lot of biogas, as you see, to garbage trucks. But we also have EV superchargers there. We sell fluid CO2 for the cooling for fresh trucks. And we now have a hydrogen station in place from today on. So we officially opened today the hydrogen station in the harbor of Amsterdam. And this is what we see as our Orange Dream, together with adding HVO 100. Then you have all clean fuels, which we think can add something to clean mobility at this moment. But our main fuel on this station is still biogas. This is a little bit of what I'm going to say, but it's all, we're talking about 6-7 slides. That's not much. A little bit of a timeline and also some turnover. And the nice thing about this, why we don't show this, because we say, okay, look at our turnover. But the nice thing is about this is that we started in 2008 and we're now going to a turnover of almost 40 million. But the nice thing is that we are making a profit with clean fuels. So, and especially the biogas is where we, in the complete of Europe, with not that much grants, can do a lot of good business. So the nice thing about this is we are building our business up with clean fuels, and we are making a profit of it. So we are founded in 2008, and in 2010 we said already we want to sell 100% bio-CNG, biogas. And to be honest, it was also easy because in 2010 we had 10 stations. So it was, excuse me. In 2011, we had our Orange Dream vision and becoming a clean fuel retailer out of natural sources. That was a very important step. And then came our scale-up phase, where we started with biogas upgrading locations in the Netherlands. In 2015, the 50+ network in the Netherlands. In 2016, our first superchargers. And in 2017, we started in Germany with 12 bio-CNG stations, which we took over. And in the end of 2017, Wietse Bakker, who is now head of Network Development Europe, started up our business in Germany. And he built it up more than 100 stations. We will come to that later. What you see is in 2018, we got more shareholders, other shareholders. But me as founder and Jeroen Meijberg, who was our financial controller as a private person, stepped in. So I will come back on the shareholders later. In 2019, our first steps in Sweden with Färjestaden. And in 2020 was a big year of us because we took over 75 stations in Germany and became market leader. And we really started in our first turnover in Sweden with Helsingborg. So that was a big milestone for us. If you look at the shareholders at this moment, we have two funds as shareholders. There's ABN AMRO Energy Transition Fund and Meewin Sustainable Investment Fund, which is a fund which private persons put their money in. Then you have me as a founder CEO, and you have Jeroen Meijberg, who was already working for 5 years for OrangeGas and stepped in 2018. If you look at overall strategy, then this is our Orange Dream scenario, a vision, where we from natural energy sources put clean fuels in the market. And what we try to do is we are really a retailer and we like to sell the clean fuels, but we are also involved in the production. And we are also involved in biogas production, but also in electricity. And we hope for hydrogen in the future. And very important schedule, what you see is under production. On the production, you see from electricity, sun of wind, we make hydrogen and are putting CO2 liquid and making the synthetic biogas. This is also called the power to gas solution, and we are also seriously looking at this. If you look at the international network, we are now active in the Netherlands, Germany, and Sweden. And this is a little bit of our summary. This presentation is available for everybody who is in this conference, so that's no problem, because most of it is already known in the markets. What you also see is that we do a lot of corporations. For example, in the Netherlands, we work with LNG and LCNG together with DCB Energy. And in Germany, we work with Verbio and Aral. And now we are looking in Sweden also for Boras, for example. And other production projects also. If you look at our growth strategy the next years, we hope to expand in Sweden and become an important player, and not formally in biogas, but also we will try to make the first steps in electric charging and hydrogen stations. So these three fuels have the focus for us, and partnerships on the LBG. We are at this moment having conversations in Switzerland for taking over 6 stations, and we are exploring the UK and Italy. UK is because it's very interesting for the biogas on the trucks, and Italy is CNG. It's not bio-CNG, but CNG country number 1 at this moment in Europe. And we hope to expand within our current network and new network also with the other clean fuels. Then we have an overview of the fuels in portfolio, and you see what you see is our fuels and in which countries we have them, just for information. And this, of course, is a living document. The plans for Sweden, portfolio, the Boras project, and acquisitions of some stations, and building, of course, the Bornholm stations and climate cleaved applications, which also include EV and H2 and LBG. And what we hope to do is that we will try to be market leader in the Orange Dream vision in the clean fuels in 2023. If you look at our management team, it's all over Europe. Marcel and Jeroen already told. We have Peter Bosma. He's working almost 10 years with OrangeGas, and he is a really specialist in transport and trucks. He has his background in the traditional oil industry. Joyce van Osdeman is the director of Benelux. She's working 7 years for us. Johan Bloemsma, director Germany, works also 7 years for us. Wietse built up the business in Germany and is now developing a network in Europe. And of course, then we have our Swedish team with Mats Ekelund, who is director of Sweden, and helped us very much in making the first steps. And we are very glad about that. We did a lot of road trips together. And then we have Matthias Johansson, who has much experience and fits our OrangeGas culture very good, which maybe is more open and transparent than other cultures. That was my presentation, and I hope to give you a little bit of a view about OrangeGas in general and our plans for the future.
Thank you, Marcel. And I think many people would like to have an OrangeGas fuel stations at their location if they are now missing such a filling station. And we have got one question in the chat, and that is, when will the filling station in Färjestaden open?
Färjestaden will be open this month. We have to have we try to be open is we have one last issue with safety regulations, and that is solved now. So we hope to open the second half of March.
Wonderful. Will Mr. Spark come here? Shall we look
Mr. Spark, we will make a Mr. Spark Sweden,
Yes.
and he will join with the opening of the stations, of course. And in Verjestad we have a nice biogas station. When you come on the island of Öland on the first roundabout, and we also have there 2 superchargers, 50 kW.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marcel. I think we are glad that you enter the Swedish market, and we are really hoping that you will have a good success of marketing the biogas, because that is, as you said, needed, that more people get to know about all the benefits with it and start driving cars, of course.